Hello and welcome back to the quarterfinals. My name is Interjection and this is game number 7 in a best of 7 between Garja and Challe for, of course, PK Clan tournament number 4. Game number 7. All 7 games being played in this set, and what a phenomenal set of games it has been so far. Of course, at one point, Challe 2 games under. Garja could have won the set by taking either of the 2 previous games, but Challe does not let him do that. Takes the score all the way back up to 3-3, and here we have a decider on the map Painted Desert. And doesn't it look excellent in my high graphics settings? But unfortunately I am going to have to turn that off for reasons I have explained in previous videos. But here in the north of the map we have Garja playing as the French in the colour red, putting down an early market right about now. Of course, wants to get hunting dogs the moment that market is up, as soon as he can, but does not have the coin for it. Good fight, son. GG, bro. He's going to have to find some coin, going to have to collect that, but we turn Fog of War off. We see a 55 coin treasure here, but he has not gone for it. Perhaps, didn't want to scout around his base initially because he already had his first hunt and wanted to get out there, wanted to find, of course, more treasures, and of course, those cows that are on this map. Is now coming across this 70 coin treasure, and I imagine he'll send his explorer right over there. Yes, going to launch right onto that one, says, I want my hunting dogs, there is my coin, give it to me. That goes over to there, but, has, okay, 4 cows, not too bad. Perhaps that's why he didn't want to scout around his base. Now coming back to do that right now. Probably kicking himself in the foot over this 55 coin, which he could have just crack-shotted for. We'll switch over to the other player, Challe, in the south of the map, in the colour orange, also playing as the French. And here, just about to get his hunting dogs there. Look at that. Just, guy is still not quite there. Still only going for this treasure. Going for it now, 70 coin, I imagine we'll see hunting dogs queued the moment that that is collected up. And boom, there it is. But Challe, let's take a look at his map here. He has found so far, Challe's found 40 XP and 20 coin. 20 coin, yes, that might have helped with the hunting dogs, but other than that, no other kind of treasures in the area. 4 cow, well, a cow treasure guarded by 4 cougars, as much as that is OP if you're Azak. It's not coin, and actually has a worse map. I mean, Garja has coin treasures right outside the door, could have got that hunting dogs really easily, but oh well, that's the way it goes. But anyway, this map we have Painted Desert, as I said, and doesn't look quite so excellent in my graphics settings, but definitely kind of looks like a watercolor painting on the floor. It looks, I don't know, it looks terrible, honestly. What is this? Unfortunately, I do have to use those lower settings. Anyway, we have an Apache settlement, a Navajo settlement, another Navajo, followed by an Apache, and you will have noticed those are the only 4 trading posts on the map, none of which are a trade route. There is no Travelers man whom I can pay homage to, and that does kind of give us some fairly interesting civilization choices. We see Garja over here playing as the French, and in his previous game took the Iroquois, and in his game before that also took the Iroquois. Iroquois being quite a strong and quite a powerful 1v1 nation, and not doing that today, not picking those, because, well, they like to build a trading site early on, but there's no trading post, so you're really kind of disadvantaged on this map if you play an Iroquois compared to another map. But I do think, yes, Iroquois can compete. We see here Garja hitting up with 400 wood. I imagine Challe going up at the same time. Yes, he is. 400 wood. Getting the gang saw in the market now. Getting that getting these upgrades during transition. I imagine both players will queue up a few different upgrades. But yeah, as I was saying, they can compete without a trading post. I mean, it's not like they're the Ottoman, which also is a civilization that likes to build a trading post and really does kind of struggle if it can't. I mean, they compete better than Ottoman can, but the question is, why would you want to compete when you can play as France, which have a perfectly good set of build orders that do not need a trading post? So here today, playing as France, we have a French mirror, and mirrors, I think, can be very, very tense. I mean, there are far less differences between the civilizations, and therefore the builds that you can choose, and therefore you might say skill is more emphasized, and we will see exactly how that pans out. But yes, both players getting upgrades in transition. I imagine about to collect 125 wood there with those 4 settlers. We'll switch over to Garja. Has 132 wood. Yes, both players want that 125 wood so they can get steel traps and basically have 30% bonus to hunting right off the bat of the colonial age. But what can we expect from these players? Of course, it is a French mirror. I'm going to play fast because really nothing will be happening at the moment since, of course, they are just aging up. But 400 wood on the floor. We'll see what his first home city shipment is. That will tell us exactly what he intends tends to do. He could go for a colonial agenda, but then again could go for a kind of fortress age agenda. Not a straight up naked fast fortress, a semi-fast fortress, since of course, you know, there are no trading posts on this map, so really a naked fast fortress wouldn't do very well. And at the same time, France don't have the greatest of naked fast fortress. Of course, the semi-fast fortress is always better. Get that economy going and use that economy where France excel, and they do kind of excel in the fortress age. They also have a good colonial, and that seems to be what Garja is doing right here. We see both a stable and a barracks going down with that 400 wood. 700 wood is his first home city shipment, with which he can use that wood on some houses, and then can add in a second military building, perhaps another barracks if he wants, and also he will have some wood to, if there was a trading post, well, a trading route, perhaps he could build a trading post. Don't think he will, though. The native sites here aren't particularly useful unless you're going for some sort of native orientated strategy. Also has wood available to get perhaps market upgrades, but the only one he doesn't have is the amalgamation upgrade, and most of his economy is going to be on food at this stage in the game. There is quite a few on coin right now, but that won't stay like that. So, you know, that is quite an expensive upgrade, 200 food and wood. And I don't think you really gain a lot out of it early on. It's always nice to get once you decide you're going to have more settlers on coin later on in the game. But here, 5 musketeers, and we'll have 5 hussars pop out of this one as well. Then perhaps he'll do a little bit of pushing out. Let's see what the other player is up to. Of course, Garja here going to want to do some harassment. Actually, let's take a look at his fog of war. He scouted his base here. Can see a stable going up, so even Garja knows this is a semi-fast fortress. Challe is going for a semi-fast fortress here. First shipment was 4 settlers, with which he's going to start booming, and then at some point we'll send 700 coin, which he's actually doing right now, and then use that coin to click up to the next stage. So since he is sending 4 settlers first rather than 700 coin, he does have a little bit of time in the colonial age to do something, and with that time he's built a stable with 200 of the wood he aged up with, spent the other 200 on houses, as we can see here, and trained some cavalry. 5 hussars, which have gone idle over here. Not too good, but perhaps, never mind. We see 4 hussars coming in from Garja. They've been scouted by this scout here, well, the explorer, coming in to kill a settler, but unlikely to kill any. I mean, Garja has kind of spotted them. Plus, these settlers have the HP upgrade from the market. Orange coming in to kill some settlers. Is he going to get one? These settlers do not have the market HP upgrade, but still quite close to the town centre. Not going to go down. 5 musketeers popping out of the barracks to respond to this. Of course, going straight into hand mode there. 13 multiplied by 3 versus cavalry in hand attack. 1 hussar going down. And I don't think this should be too much of an issue. He's kind of bringing his... Oh, using these explorers... Well, the cavalry here to kill off the explorer. But Orange coming back in to kill a settler. Still doesn't have the HP upgrade. It's going to go down. Losing 1 settler. Musketeers coming in, but too slowly. They were not in the right spot. And that gave Challe the opportunity to come in and kill a settler. Excellent job. Excellent. Here coming in, gets a settler right next to the town centre, a weak one. Perhaps he weakened it earlier, but still, the settler, the explorer going down for a second time. 45 XP times 2 coming in. Looks like Orange coming back to the base. Is he going to get a settler over here? He could do. Of course, the musketeers are on the wrong side. No, not quite, but he could have had another settler quite easily there. Okay, so what are these players doing? We said Challe is doing a semi-fast fortress. He has a lot of colonial pressure in his base right now. These 4 settlers look like they're going to be they've got musketeers and cavalry to walk to if they're going to get back to their base. Fortunately, though, they do have the kind of upgrade. Orange coming in here for a second settler. These musketeers on the wrong side again. They walked over to this side to protect. And now these 4 hussars coming in to kill a settler. He must have lost like 2 over here. I'm going to have to compare their economy. Challe on 21 here. Orange player. The orange player on 21. Garja on 22. So he has a slight advantage with settlers. But honestly, both players losing a few unnecessarily wasn't too good there. But I said Challe, what is he doing? He's going for a semi-fast fortress. Clicked up to the fortress age. Going through the exile prince. Almost there as we see. Now calling Minutemen. Going to pop out, of course, his settlers as they hit up. These have 11 ranged attack due to the blunderbuss upgrade. They're actually more powerful outside of the town centre than they are inside it, since, of course, when you put a settler in the town centre, it gains 9 ranged attack. Here, is he going to lose a settler? No, but the hussar's definitely going down. Not too good there. Don't want to be losing those, since, of course, they are 200 resources each. But I'm surprised here. These musketeers are still sieging down the stable. The Minutemen take, well, they do ×2 damage to a unit that is doing siege damage. Look, 22 ×2 versus a siege unit, and a siege unit is anything sieging down a building. They are taking 26 ×2. That's ridiculous. And look at the amount of musketeers, like 10 musketeers down and a few cavalry just for 1 stable. Challe, of course, facing up on a lot of colonial pressure and his villagers being forced into the town centre, not really being able to do a lot of resource gathering. I saw him sending 8 skirmishers as one of his, well, as his first Fortress Age unit shipment, but cancelled that Perhaps if more Musketeer and Hussars were coming into his base, he'd keep the 8 skirmishers, since of course skirmishers are very strong against Musketeers. But then again, his stable did go down. Perhaps he wants dragoons, and since the stable did go down, he does have to repair it, and therefore cancelled the shipment, and instead has decided to send 5 dragoons. But yeah, I think he'll be fine, and I keep saying that it's because skirmishers obviously do ×2 versus musketeers. They outrange musketeers. You can hit and run. You can actually take no shots from a musketeer if you're very, very clever or careful, whatever you want to call it. Dragoons do ×3 versus hussars. So Garja is in a bit of a situation. He's going to find it very difficult to compete up against those units if he himself does not go up to the Fortress Age. Of course, stayed in the Colonial a bit longer, and there we see Garja just hitting up right now. Stayed in the Colonial a bit longer to perhaps do some early damage, but really all he managed to do, yes, he killed a few settlers, but Challe killed the same amount of settlers as he did. Ish. They have similar economies. These dragoons coming in to perhaps get some raids, but these 5 musketeers stopping that from happening. The only kind of significant damage he did was kill a stable and stop Orange's units from working for a little while. So anyway, let's switch over to Garja and see what he's done. Of course, went up with 3 settlers, obviously like they both did. Followed it up with 700 wood and 4 settlers, then sent 700 coins. So is now in the Fortress Age, and I would say they're essentially both in the same situation, except of course Garja got some early pressure off. They do have fairly similar settlers, so perhaps that's what he was trying to do by staying in the Colonial Age a bit longer to try and give himself a settler lead. But really, we see only, his 5 Dragoon shipment just hitting his 1 Fortress Age shipment on the battlefield, and fairly similar score, fairly similar situations, fairly similar settler count. We'll compare that to Challe. He, as I said, similar situations and stuff, but he already has 5 Dragoons on the field. 8 skirmishers about to pop. He is a shipment ahead of his opponent, since he did get up to the Fortress Age a bit sooner. This means that he, I think, is the one who is going to have to push the advantage. The guy who, since will have that slight military advantage of 1 shipment, is in the position to push out. The guy who is going to want to do that. But we see Garja now coming out now. That kind of contradicts what I'm saying, but at the same time, there's not, it's not like Challe can trap him in a location. Here, these skirmishers and musketeers doing some more damage to those dragoons. The dragoons taking a shot at the other dragoons whilst they're escaping. Of course, you might as well get a few shots off, since of course you can't like shoot, but you can shoot, run whilst you're escaping, and make use of the fact that the dragoons can do that. Hopefully that made sense to a few people. A settler going down, but yeah, so I was saying Garja coming out this way, perhaps because, he had a native scout over here, which, yeah, there it is, it's right there, native scout. He scouted out this coin mine in the hunt. Perhaps he was coming out to kill that settler, and obviously then walk into his base here and perhaps snipe some other settlers dead. I mean, yes, he needs to be on, well, yes, I think Challe is going to be on the offensive more so than Garja, since, of course, he did hit up slightly sooner. But Garja can still kind of push out and do a little bit of hit and run raiding, providing he's not going all the way into Challe's base and kind of risking the lives of his military unit shipments. 2 cannons now being sent as his second home city shipment. We'll switch over to, of course, Challe and see what he is up to. Now, he's training a lot of dragoons, by the looks of it here. I think we see now a barracks has gone up, but of course the stable was his first building, and he now has 11 skirmishers, so really those 3 here he's just trained are the only 3 he has trained. The others came from this 8 skirmisher shipment. Has a lot of dragoons, and I think what he's doing here is, yeah, 2 cannons now coming out. If he's going to be the one pushing, cannons certainly going to be useful for that. Cannons definitely give you a lot of siege potential and are very strong, and really do their best when they are, well, they really can help you siege. I mean, this army doesn't have a lot of siege in it. The composition is Dragoon Skirmisher, which is an excellent combination with regards to their very good unit counters. They're hard counters to what they are, but they don't have a lot of siege damage. And there's not really a lot of anti-infantry in here with regards to light infantry. Dragoons are countered by light infantry, and light infantry here, skirmishers only, well, the skirmishers don't counter other skirmishers. The cannons here are going to be quite useful for that. Anyway, let's switch over to Garja. I'm going to press play fast and speed this up a little bit, since we are just waiting around for one player to attack the other. Neither player secured a settler advantage early on. Perhaps if Garja had killed 5 settler and had a 5... Ooh, that was close. These dragoons, if they had come any closer to those cannons, and those dragoons had not moved, and these cannons had not walked back, then he could have taken off a volley of shots from a match of dragoons, and that would not have been too good for his cannons. But yeah, neither player securing a settler advantage. Perhaps if Garja was 5 settlers ahead, then he'd be in a better position to know exactly what he wants to do, and that would be to sit in his base and kind of defend here. Red now knows that he has cannons, but Orange now knows that Red's units are over here, and it looks like Orange, since he now knows Red's units are not in his base, Orange is just going to run his Dragoons into Red's base, perhaps shoot some Settlers dead. Of course, though, it is a little bit difficult to kill Settlers since they do have a 40% ranged resist, but it is not difficult to kill 5 lonely skirmishers. Of course, taking out 2 of the skirmishers, now retreating from Red's Dragoons, Red sending his Dragoons into his base to kind of respond. I guess Challe scouting out the lay of the land as well, finding out exactly what's going on, but really... He knows the Red's units are over here, so why not? But then at the same time, I think Red knows that these cannons are undefended. Perhaps that's what these Dragoons were doing. I mean, if he had more Dragoons, perhaps if he'd gone heavier on the Dragoons rather than the skirmishers like Challe did, then he could send his Dragoon mass into the cannons and take one off whilst these Dragoons are away, since it would then only be the skirmishers protecting the cannon. And yes, the skirmishers do a ×2 bonus against Dragoons, but you know, since these Dragoons are away, then I think in a reasonable position to do that. To take if you know, here taking some shots on the skirmishers, not too good. But certainly better to take the shots on the skirmishers than it is to accidentally take them on the cannons. The cannons here, it isn't quite as simple as cannon versus cannon, but it is largely going to be down to who can micro their cannons onto the other player's cannons. 2 shots from a falconet will kill another falconet, and this is a lot of waiting around, a lot of massing up. I see Challe here now sending cavalry combat, 15% attack and hit points to his Dragoons and Cuirassiers and Hussars, though he doesn't have any of the latter 2 units. The Dragoons primarily here are the things going to get buffed. Perhaps, once that upgrade arrives, he's thinking about coming in to kill off one of the cannons. Here we see Red coming in with his Dragoons, focusing down a cannon there, taking down a cannon, taking a ton of shots from Dragoons and skirmishers, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dragoons have died. 6 Dragoons have died. No, 6 Dragoons. Wow, you have to remember those are 90 food and coin each. That's essentially 200 resources times 6. Certainly not worth it when you compare that a cannon is worth just 500 resources. But then again, at the same time, perhaps now Orange coming in around this way to... Well, we turn Fog of War on. He knows that this is where the abundance of food is. Perhaps he wants to either come in and snipe cannons like the other player did. I mean, his upgrade here just arrived, 15% attack and hit points. He'd be in a very good situation to come in and focus down those cannons. Let's switch over to Garja. Guy does not have cavalry combat, but decided to do it anyway. I was saying that, yes, you know, in terms of resources, perhaps not worth it, but then again, you have to remember that now Garja is in a very good situation to just use these cannons. If he can get 2 shots of these cannons off at the same time on that lone falconet, the falconet goes down, and he is in a very easy situation. He has very nice anti-infantry here, just cannons to do well against the skirmishers, and really Challe would have nothing. If Challe is going to go on the aggressive now, he's going to find it very difficult since he only has the 1 cannon, and dealing with the other player's cannons is going to be the primary issue here. Yes, cannons aren't quite as worth as much as 6 Dragoons, but cannons, with regards to the amount of units they can kill, might be worth more. You have to take into account not just how much it's worth, but its worth in the army. I mean, cannons very strong, difficult to get, really. The artillery foundry, certainly a hefty wood investment. But bringing his Dragoons through the back of this player's base for a second time, perhaps wanting to kill some settlers, but Red's army was still here and spotted them, and now he's trying to escape, of course doing a hit-and-run style escape. But unfortunately, took a few Dragoon losses, not too good. Garja now, or should I say Challe, perhaps I'll switch over to him. Challe now pushing out. Has a Cuirassier in production at the stable and sending 3 Cuirassiers. So going for that 5+3 Cuirassier combo that he did last time, that wombo combo Cuirassier. Here we're losing some settlers. They want to get into the town centre. I think what he's 4 Cuirassiers already here. He's going for a 4+5, no 5 here. 5+5+3 Cuirassiers. 13 Cuirassiers. I imagine that's what he's waiting for. 3 Cuirassiers have just arrived. 5 Cuirassiers about to pop. Gonna bring them over, and then really he'll be in an excellent position to push out because Garja is going to need plenty of Dragoons for that. He has Cuirassiers in production. Oh, this could go terribly wrong. If Challe pushes now with this Cuirassier advantage, then he is going to do very well indeed, because Garja's units are still in training. They are not going to pop just yet. If Garja can... If he waits a little bit longer, if he has a little bit more time, it will absolutely fine, but that time is not being given. Challe coming in now, focusing down a cannon with the Dragoons, the skirmishers in the back. Those skirmishers, the orange ones, are going to be taking shots from the cannons. 5 Cuirassiers coming in. Of course, all of these Dragoons close and bunched up, and even though Dragoons counter Cuirassiers, the Cuirassiers are going to be tearing through them with their 32 damage. Area 2, they are buffed by that card. I'm surprised this cannon hasn't gone down. Focus, please, these Cuirassiers onto the cannon going down here. These skirmishers getting absolutely ripped apart by Cuirassiers. Come on, 10 cuirassiers about to pop from the stable to turn this around. Here they are right now. 3 of them coming out to deal with this, to dispatch this cannon here. The other 5 dealing with the remaining dragoons, sorry, the remaining cuirassiers that are hurting his own dragoons. And really what a mess it is. Of course, now all of Orange's dragoons going down. Orange's remaining cuirassiers going down. Red calling his Minutemen as well. And these remaining skirmishes in a bit of a sticky situation. You can see the score for both players drastically reducing. And what an absolutely crazy fight that was. I mean, if Challe had pushed in a bit sooner, then perhaps he would have done even more damage, since of course these cuirassiers, the red ones, would not have arrived. And alternatively, if Garja had been given a bit more time, all of that damage to his army just would not have happened. He would have had 10 extra cuirassiers in the mass to help defend, and he'd probably still have a reasonable sized military. But now we see Orange bringing back his settlers, of course, knows that the fight is over and that red cuirassiers will be on the prowl. Orange settlers over here, come on, move them, bro. Yes, he's starting to move them. He now knows that, of course, either he saw these in his line of sight. Perhaps not, though. Oh, the Orange settlers noticing here 5 dragoons as a response to come up and defend. But yeah, we'll take a look at their settlers. 36 to Garja here. Red has 36 settlers. And Challe has 39. So Challe is on a slight settler lead. But Garja has more military on the field. If we take a look, using these Minutemen to harass. But has some skirmishes. This fort going up here, having to place it over here, probably doesn't want to place it there, since I think we'll take a look at the map in a moment, but being forced to place it there, otherwise the wagon would have been destroyed by these 3 cuirassiers and perhaps the skirmishes. But these small amounts of units starting to siege down the fort, and the fort HP going up quickly, but going right back down again when the siege damage hits. It goes down, and I think honestly that is a big problem for Challe. That gives Garja a fairly large advantage, because let's be honest, that is a Fortress Age shipment down. He was a shipment ahead of Garja at the beginning, but took a long time to push, and I think the longer you take to push, the less and less that advantage becomes. And now losing a shipment, the fort has gone down. Let's take a look at the map here. We see, really, for Challe, where is he gathering food? Yeah, these are his last remaining bison. Once these have gone, he has no food. There's a few deer here, but they're quite, they're starting to get quite far away from his town. Well, not really, but this is such a tiny map. They're fairly close to his opponent as well. Here, taking a few shots on his dragoons. But the majority of the food on this map is all up in this corner. Garja has all of the food, and he's in a perfect situation, really, to just defend and just sit on those hunts. And I think if Challe had managed to get a fort up in this location, or near this location, I don't know what he was trying to do with the fort, but if that had gone up over there or something like that, then maybe he'd secure the hunts for the later game. Perhaps that's what he's was trying to do, but lost his fort. Really not good at all. Now coming in with some dragoons to do some raiding. Of course, he knows that's where the hunts are, wants to kill some settlers, but Garja, not stupid, putting up a tower with which to garrison units in, should he need to. But yeah, Challe here certainly running out of bison by the looks of it, shipping 1,000 coin, running out of coin mines as well. Really, this is the only coin mine he has, which is hard to get to. This one as well, where he was gathering, is Garja has map control, his military advantage, so really shipping the coin perhaps because he needs it. And now he doesn't really have a lot of food to be collecting from, therefore collecting a lot of wood, since it is the only resource he can get. And with that wood, he's going to start to train. I guess he's going to have to put up mills, even plantations. Really not in a good position at all. He does have a sizable military though, and he could pull this back if given a slight amount of time. But see, we see a town centre going down with the wood that he does have. But, Garja clearly has the military lead here. Clearly has more units. And I think Challe, though, he's in a reasonable position to come back if left, and he hasn't quit just yet, even though he might be feeling the pressure, and that is because, this game really does mean a lot. He doesn't want to quit just like that, but at the same time, he is not out of this game. He is not out until Garja pushes into his base and says good fight and destroys him. I do not know what Garja is waiting for. Now sending team ranged infantry attack, perhaps that is what he's waiting for. That, of course, that colonial age upgrade. Oh no, it's a fortress age upgrade. Wow, I should know that. It's 15% attack to, of course, ranged infantry such as skirmishers and crossbowmen. Perhaps that's what he's waiting for before he pushes in. Now coming in, and I mean, the settlers are still not dead yet. They're still able to work. How is this going to pan out? Just a little bit of skirmishing. I guess really is waiting for that upgrade. Let's take a look at what Challe's up to, though. Run out of coin. He can't really train anything. He's going to have to start putting down plantations or massing crossbowmen and pikemen, which really do not stand up. I really don't know what Guy is waiting for now. I mean, yes, if Challe's given enough time, he's going for the full boom approach, putting up putting up town centers and just hoping that his opponent will not push in and that he'll be able to get back into the game, which is a legit strat, I suppose, until at least your opponent does push in. But miraculously, if you're given enough time, then it can kind of work. But I'm going to play fast here until Garja does come in, because honestly, I do not know what he's waiting for. Perhaps he's waiting for the production of these 10 skirmishes before coming in, but honestly, I don't know. Of course, has the military advantage here, has a clear score lead, could come in. 45 settlers to Garja, Challe on 38, so clearly has a settler lead as well. Here comes Garja, finally pushing Orange's base. I don't think Orange really wants to fight this, though. He's clearly been outmassed, and since he has no access to resources, he has less units, and really it's never a good idea to fight a fight which you cannot win. But here he's going to have to fight this one. There's really nowhere else to go. Garja here, metaphorically, putting him into check, but Challe calling checkmate. There's no way out of this one. GG. Garja takes the win in this French mirror, and therefore the set with a 4-3 victory. Garja will be moving into the semi-final. Challe has been eliminated from the tournament, but will be taking 2% of the prize pool home with him, just like all of the other quarterfinalists. My name has been Interjection, and I will see you next time.